Hi Virgo, welcome or welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. We are talking about March today, which is crazy to me that we're already talking about March. I'll probably say that every month going forward because I am just so surprised how fast time moves, but then not at all. So I hope February has treated you well, is treating you well. It was actually a pretty busy month for moi. I launched an Etsy store, which I'm so proud of. So I would love it if you checked it out. I'll link it down below. And of course, as always, there's no obligation to buy anything. If you find something that you connect to and want to purchase, I would love that. But otherwise, if you could just fill the space with a ton of love so that other people will want to buy stuff. I appreciate it. I actually have a few of these decks available also. This is the Tarot of the Abyss. Love this deck. So I have a couple of these. So if you feel a connection to them and want to work with them yourself, I do have them available for purchase. Let's talk about you. So we do a 4-card spread. The first card is the current energy. To the left of that is any potential blocks. Underneath that is advice for clearing the block. And then we check to see what the energy is heading into, what's next. I don't shuffle reversals into the deck, which is kind of a funny story. Usually, like when I get a new deck, I handle it a lot. I keep it pretty close to me. I'll ask random questions, do a bunch of, like just readings with it and, kind of just trying to get our energies kind of calibrated together. Right. And, I shuffle all of my decks the same way, and I don't shuffle reversals into the decks. I just don't connect to that. That's just me. So anyway, the first few times I would just, kind of pick up the deck and shuffle it a bunch and, and the cards that would fall out would be in the reverse. And I was like, what in the world? So then I would, just kind of thumb through it. And sure as shit, there would be a bunch of cards in the reverse. And I was like, am I going crazy? It's likely, honestly, who knows? But I literally, one night, I just kind of, I sat the cards in front of me and I was like, look, homies, I don't connect to having reversals in the deck. If they fall out of the deck in the reverse, I work with them then. But, it was almost just kind of having to have a conversation and, just so we can both be on the same page. It was kind of cool. And I'm glad that I can share that story with you guys because other people, and maybe some of you, but other people would be like, okay, this hoe has literally lost her mind. So anyway, like I said, I don't shuffle reversals into the deck, but if they fall out of the deck in the reverse, we'll take them that way. The cards do actually need to fall out of the deck. If they flip in the deck, we'll just flip them over and keep it moving. My intention is for one card to come out at a time. We'll take 2 if they come out together, but any more than that, we'll put it back in the deck because we just want the message to be super clear. So let's get going. What is the current energy for Virgo, March 2022? I hope, is it kind of dark? I'm doing your reading at night. Ooh. We'll kind of see how that goes. What is it? Oh, this is my charger. It doesn't really help, does it? Nope. Okay, we'll see how that goes. What is the current energy? I'm debating. No. Just kind of the way that those fell out, you know? I don't know. They are more than welcome to come out again. If that is, it was the Seven of Wands and the Seven of Wands and the Four of Wands. We have the Eight of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. Nine of Swords. Heavy mental stuff going on here. So the Eight of Swords talks about feeling a bit of a prisoner to the mind, almost like not really feeling like there's a way out of a situation. Not really, you know, kind of seeing a path forward, really. The Eight of Swords talks about being in a self-inflicted mind prison, if you want to call it that. But the truth of the matter is that the figure is never actually bound, right? I mean, it looks like it at first glance, but this hand is free. You know, this kind of looks like it's loosely binding her. You know, even the end of this cloth, you know, it's not like it's tied to anything. You know, the blindfold is kind of coming off of one eye. So it is one decision away from changing the situation, right? But when you're in this energy, that's not the way that you see it. I think there's a lot of power in being in this energy too, because, you know, if you allow yourself, you'll find a lot of truth as far as like, you know, kind of how you ended up here. What's keeping you in this energy, right? Like, why is it that you don't see a way out? Like, why can't you think your way out of this? And maybe that's kind of the problem, is that you are trying to think your way out of it instead of moving your hand and taking these binds off. Right? So maybe that's part of the problem here, is that there's no action being taken. This is all of the what ifs. This is, you know, a lot of the, you know, like trying to figure out all the different ways a situation can play out. And most of the time, we're trying to anticipate the negative ways at which a situation can turn out, right? Because those are the things, that's where the risk is. Not in how it actually could successfully work out, but how could it not work out? So again, just really kind of, and even I'm being like, my attention is being drawn up here. I know that's probably not. And I don't even know if you would be able to see it, like right here. That just like all of a sudden I'm just kind of like getting called to like the third eye. This could even be like a third eye. Like, you know, you maybe just need a third eye cleansing. There's, you know, like there's a lot of YouTube videos out there that can help with that. I'm trying to like get the glare off of. Let me just see how dark it is with this off. That's okay, right? I hope so. That way you can actually see the card. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the deck. And the Nine of Swords right behind that. Very interesting. Like this is, this has a feeling to me of like, you know, kind of blocking your blessings. Like there seems to be this resolution or a solution or, I can't tell you how many times I've seen this card in these readings, and I just noticed that there's this tree or this plant growing out of her hand, and this is like a flower up here. Very interesting. So it's like between these two energies, right, is the solution. That's why I'm saying, you know, this is a very, you know, it can be used as a powerful place to be in if you allow yourself, right, to look at and think about all the options available. What ways can it fail and which ways can it succeed? And almost just kind of shifting your focus to the things like that are available or the ways that it could be successful. The Nine of Swords is really the completion. This is like, there are no other solutions. Like there's no other what ifs. There's no other ways in which you can think of a situation going. But this is still the stuff that, you know, I mean, it's generally depicted as, you know, nightmare-y, right? It's the things that kind of keep you up at night. It's the mental gymnastics and kind of being on the hamster wheel in your head of just kind of, you know, thinking about all of the ways that the situation is fucked. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles behind that. That's like, you know, this has been going on for some time. I mean, this is your energy, right? The Pentacles, Earth. Let's just kind of see like how, let's just keep moving forward. Let's see. What's the block for Virgo? What's blocking Virgo? That is too many. That's the Six of Swords, a Ten of Swords, a Three of Swords, and then Justice. Like mental gymnastics, hamster wheel, whatever, you know, like just, you know, that cyclical, like, or cyclical way of thinking, right? Like just getting very stuck in our head and not seeing the way out. We have the Sun and then the Wheel of Fortune again. Oh my God. Okay. Again, you know, just kind of like getting this feeling of like blocking the blessings or even just blocking the path forward. Because, you know, when we do get stuck in our heads, you know, like that's where the ego lives, right? And, you know, the ego is designed to keep us in our comfort box. It's there to keep us safe. Right? But it is there to keep us safe from the failures, from feeling the bad stuff, right? So that's all the more reason to get out of your head and into your body. Like, you know, making decisions from our head or trying to make decisions from our head, this is what happens most times, right? Because we're not feeling it. We're not, you know, it's coming from our mind body. It's not coming from our heart body, right? And generally our heart, it's not going to take us through like this level of, it's like a yes or no. It either feels good or it doesn't. And that's kind of the end of it. There's no what ifs and, you know, all this shit, right? So in the blocked position, we have the Sun card. And like I was saying, this could be blocking the path forward. Here, there's this path. There could be a little bit of a fear of the unknown. This could be, you know, just kind of depression. You know, I mean, the Sun card is kind of all of the good feels, right? It's everything that makes us feel good, all the stuff that brings us joy, right? So with it being in the blocked position, it's like everything that's the opposite of the Sun card. Then again, we have the Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the deck. Again, just kind of blocking, even just like blocking things from moving forward, like blocking the fortune and good luck, and, you know, like blocking the things that the universe just wants to give you, right? We have the Nine of Swords again at the bottom of the deck because we can't get out of our heads. We have the Emperor, and that's, to me, it just kind of has this feeling of like you are really holding on to this, like you're not letting go of this, almost just kind of feeling emboldened to feel this way, like there's no other way. I can't see any other way forward. There's nothing else. Well, but there actually is. You just won't see it. You could be dealing with an Aries. I believe even the Wheel of Fortune is a fire card. So, I mean, there could be a fire sign in your energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And then we have the Death card, Scorpio. Just, again, you know, just kind of blocking, like just shutting it down, shutting the whole system down because you can't, you know, and I get it, you know, like I'm a Virgo moon. So I understand like being analytical and, you know, kind of wanting to be able to anticipate or just, you know, kind of understand a situation fully, right? Like, I mean, from start to finish and literally everything in between, right? But when we do that, there's no room for the universe to surprise us. There's no room for, you know, when we think we know better about what we need, you know, we kind of start by putting roadblocks up because, again, you know, just being in this mind cycle, even if you're, you know, like just trying to manifest like things exactly how you want them laid out for you, right? But that's not leaving room for like surprise, you know, and good surprise, right? Obviously, like not anything bad, but even if there was something that was quote unquote bad that popped up, like, you know, you would have the resources you need to deal with them because it would have shown up for a reason. You know, like it would have shown up because it needed to exit the situation so that all this stuff around you can continue to blossom. We have the Three of Wands for the advice. And then the Nine of Wands, Eight of Wands, Four of Wands, Queen of Cups. So the wands talk about action and communication. What are we going to actually put our energy into doing? Not just thinking about, not just feeling about, but what are we actually going to start moving towards, like physically, like moving towards a thing. So the Three of Swords, the Three of Wands talks about, in this depiction, you know, the ship is coming in. So this could be, again, an opportunity coming in for you. That's almost going to kind of change the trajectory that you were on, or it is what you have been waiting for. You know, we have this figure here standing there with the Three Wands. So this could be something that you have been waiting for, and it could be the communication on that thing could be coming in. This could be deciding to start moving in a certain direction. Again, you know, like almost just kind of getting out of your head and just taking any type of action, even if it's like the smallest step forward. I mean, baby steps are still steps, right? The Nine of Wands is a bit beat up. You know, it talks about perseverance. It talks about resilience. You know, he may be beat up, but he's still standing. And interestingly enough, he's got the Sword of Truth there too. So really just kind of, you know, focusing on or relying on this Sword of Truth. If you're feeling like this, and honestly, I'm sure you might, because, you know, I am and have been, was, and whatever, currently am the type of person, well, I will kick my ass mentally. Like nobody can do the things to me that I do to me mentally, right? Like there is not another person on this planet that can make me feel worse or better, usually worse than I do in my head. So that's, you know, like what this could be. This could be something that you have been just kind of like working on for a period of time. This could just be, you know, the reason why there's this movement is because you feel this way, like just kind of beat up. But again, the nines are a completion. So, you know, then we move to the 10, which talks about, with the 10 of Wands, it does talk about like kind of, you know, carrying a burden, but it's movement. No longer just kind of standing in place here. You took a breaky poo and then you decided to move. But I love, you know, like just my attention keeps being brought to the Sword of Truth here. Like, you know, just using that sword of truth in battle. And just, again, you know, kind of keeping your attention and your focus on that. We have the 8 of Wands, which talks about, you know, kind of fast moving communication, fast moving action, right? So, you know, this step that you took, or this opportunity that came into you, or, you know, just kind of deciding to just kind of step on the path, and that was all you're going to do that day, is put one foot on it, and that was fine. You know, that then kind of creates this, again, like I was saying, even with the sun, you know, like, it allows for the energies to start moving, and it allows the energies to start kind of calibrating and shifting for you. You could be flying somewhere. You could be migrating somewhere. I mean, you know, this kind of looks like those geese, those Canadian geese or whatever they're called. I mean, this could be a move. And then we have the Four of Wands underneath that, which talks about stability, foundation. I mean, look how happy she is, right? With her cake and her candles, you know, like there's some sort of celebration going on here. And what is so interesting too is that, you know, there's this, what's the opposite of progression? Regression? But, you know, you go from the 8, the 9 and feeling like this to down to the 8 where you feel like you're moving forward. The action that you're taking is propelling you forward. So now you're coming out of this feeling beat up energy and you're into this movement. And I finally have, you know, either like a path to look forward to, or I have a direction to move in, right? And then even now we have a progression, right? We go from the 3 of Wands to the 4 of Wands. Again, like I said, celebration. This is 1111 too, if that has a significance to you. That might be a number that you're seeing a lot, could be seeing a lot. But this is, you know, like a celebration. This is, like I said, stability, having a firm foundation below you. Feeling even safe, right? And out of your head, right? Like none of those were swords. That's too many. What's next for Virgo? Absolutely. Oh my. Oh, I mean, I could just keep, girl, we would be here all night. I could just keep going. Okay, so who were we just talking about, right? We have the 4 of Wands for your outcome, or where you're heading next, at least. So look at the difference even between these two energies, right? This is where you're starting. This is where you're going, right? We have the moon. And that's what I was talking about, like with the sun, right? Like this is the things happening behind the scenes. This is the universe or God or your higher power, whoever you connect to for your source, divine, whatever it is, right? This is the universe conspiring for you. This is even you working with the universe, right? Like this is co-creation. So the moon talks about the subconscious. The moon talks about, you know, the things that you haven't seen yet. They haven't been made available to you yet to see. But this is always, you know, kind of conspiring for your benefit. We have strength behind that. This talks about just having, again, like even just the major arcana to the 9 of Wands. It talks about the inner strength to, you know, kind of persevere or get through a situation. When people say, stay strong, right? That's the strength card. We have the Knight of Swords underneath it, even seeing the difference between the Eight of Swords. So you've come out of that energy, and now, you know, there's this globe here. The Knight of Swords is very fast moving. It's not even, they don't even necessarily think about what they're doing. They just go, do it, right? And then here we are again, you know, like with this Sword of Truth, that's the Ace of Swords, right? Just keeping the focus on what is true for you. Where are you moving towards, right? Like, what is this thing that lights this ball up for you? And that's all you need to focus on. Then we have the King of Swords underneath there. We have this, you know, kind of globe of light up here. This is a maze, which, I mean, you know, she's definitely in this maze. He's outside of it, right? So he's gotten through it. There's that Sword of Truth again. And now it's at kind of the crown center, right? And it's almost just kind of like a beacon, like, you know, just a spotlight, or like, you know, kind of a light kind of guiding your way. The King of Swords talks about discipline, clarity in thought, right? There's this contract looking thing here, this paper. So there could be something to do with a contract. You know, we have this compass at his heart. So again, even though this is a swords card, and, you know, like the beacon is on his head now, he's still being guided by his heart, because the King of Swords would recognize the importance of both being clear in thought and, you know, clear in your heart as far as where you're going. Like, both are in alignment and they're in agreement too. So this could be a contract. We have the Five of Pentacles underneath that. The Five of Pentacles does talk a little bit about lack or loss as far as like money goes. So if there's a contract here, I mean, there could be some sort of slight, it's not major with the five. This could just, you know, but the fives are temporary. So, you know, the fives, the lesson in the fives is to understand that it is temporary, and to not get stuck in this, this feeling that, you know, like I lost something. Pentacles talks about our money, our income, our resources, materials, things like that. And then we have the Four of Pentacles behind there that talks about maybe needing to budget and be a little bit more disciplined with our money for the time being. And then we have the High Priestess and the World, and oh my God, this is going to go on forever, but we have the High Priestess. She, like, the High Priestess is to me, I see the High Priestess as our higher self. So, you know, even just, you know, she's holding the yin and yang symbol here, right? So it's this, there's way too many thoughts going through my head. Let me just kind of get them organized here. Too many. But this is, you know, like allowing yourself to move with your intuition, because, you know, that's with being excuse me. If I can get my thoughts together. Again, just this feeling of, you know, co-creating with your higher self. Balance, right? Like, you know, yin and yang, you know, things are starting to balance out. And then we have, you know, kind of the Justice card even to kind of support that. There's the World card. So this has to do with the true ending of a cycle, right? This is the end of something. But it's, you know, it's never what's that saying? That endings disguise them, or beginnings disguise themselves in endings. So it's never just an end, right? There's always the birth of something new. And that's where we go into the Fool card, right? And then the Justice. Fairness, balance, the scales balancing, right? Sorry about my stammering over my words. I think I just got kind of worried that I was like going on too long and I was trying to talk too fast. And that's what happens when I try to do that. I just like start stumbling all over my words. So there's clearly a path here. There's definitely, like this, kind of stability, or even just like some sort of celebration. Even again, like this progression from this 3 of Wands to the 4 of Wands. And it may just be happening in a way that you just don't see coming. To put it like basically, I am going to leave it there though. So thank you for coming along on this journey with me, and I am glad to be on the journey with you. I will talk to you soon. Bye.